Hi, it's me, Sam, and this is By Hook or By Needles, and it is Weave It In Wednesdays. And as you can see, I have another blanket with me. This one is called Enigma, and let me see if I can show you the center. Enigma is by It's All in a Nutshell, and her name is Esther something I can't pronounce. But she does some gorgeous stuff. So if you're interested in checking it out, go and have a look. It was a cowl that came out earlier this year. Did I use, oh, that's right, I used Stylecraft Special DK acrylic, 100% acrylic, which I'd got from the Wool Warehouse. It is such a soft acrylic. In fact, I've purchased now 4 different 100% acrylics from Wool Warehouse. I probably should do a comparison because they are very, very different. There's there's a Cedar Bonus DK, I think it's called, or DK Bonus. There's the Yarnsmith DK. There's the Stylecraft Special DK, and I also got the Scapier's Colorcraft DK, and I have now used all of them. All of them except for the Scapier's. I haven't used their Colorcraft, so maybe after I've used that, I should sort of put them all together and do a little bit of a comparison. Thus far, though, Stylecraft Special DK wins in my book for softness. It doesn't win in my book for give. It seems to give a little bit more than, say, the Cedar or the Yarnsmith. The Yarnsmith is only slightly rougher. It's not, just a little bit more, and it would be to me identical to the Special Craft DK. But yeah, like I say, I can't do a complete review until I've started that other blanket. Oh dear, I've got so many blankets I want to do and love to do, and they all they all sort of pile up around me, and then I think, oh, I've got to do this, oh, I want to do that, and I get lost. Yeah, I mean, we all know what it's like. We all want to wish we had sort of 8 pairs of hands, like what's that god's name? Krishni? No. Oh, the 8-armed woman? Yeah. Oh, I wish I could remember her name. In Indian religious beliefs. Oh, how handy would that be? Handy. I did not mean that pun when I said it. But yeah, so back here, sewing in ends. Shout out to Carol if she's watching. She's currently making the it's not Look What I Made. It's Made by Anita, and she puts it all in one word. So it's MADEBYANITA, Made by Anita, but it's all in one word. That's her brand name, and it's called Quiet Sky, and basically it's a granny square blanket, but the granny squares, a lot of them are 50-50, and so when placed in a certain layout, they actually create a quilt type pattern, and it really is very remarkable. I of course have a 50-50 square video in case you need to have a look at that. But yeah, Quiet Sky, and she does it as a join as you go. I'm not a join as you go kind of person. I like my nice straight perfect neat edges. I don't like all the bumps that you get when you do the join as you go. So I made her blanket, but I didn't do it as a join as you go. So yeah, I had to pause this blanket for quite a while because I ran out of this color, which is plum. I love my purples. And I didn't want to order just one ball from Wool Warehouse in the UK. So I thought, okay, I'll wait until I want to buy something else from them. And I waited and waited, and I thought, oh gosh, it's not going to happen, is it? There's not going to be another pattern that's going to come out soon that I want to buy. So what I did do was I went on their website and I put a ball of that in the cart. And I thought, you know what if happens if I run out of this one? So I popped a ball of that in. I might run out of this one, so I popped a ball of that in. And I doubled up on all, I just put another ball of yarn of every colour just in case I run out. I'm not one of these people who cares if they have excess balls of yarn, because I have lots of scrap blankets and things that I really enjoy making. So yeah, so I put all that in, and then I thought, and I just kept looking because I'm like that. I just love to spend money that I really don't need to spend. And I came across a few things that I've been wanting to try. And one of them was a sock. Well, it was a Christmas pack, and it was for some sparkly Christmas yarn, and I love sparkly yarns. And there was a pack of 4, and 2 were just sort of quite plain. I say plain. They were Christmas yarns. They were green, reds, whites, and I can't remember what else, other colours. And there were 2 balls of that in fingering weight 100 grams, which is number 2 weight 3 ounces. I want to say that. I think it's 3 ounces. I think that's 100 grams. And so I bought that. And when it arrived, I was really surprised to see that it actually came with... oh, sorry, I haven't finished telling you what was in the pack. Typical. And there was just a plain, really deep, beautiful red. And I love red. I love what I call a pillar box red. And this is a real, what I would call a pillar box red. So there's one solid colour of pillar box red, one of the sparkling, and 2 of the plain sort of variegated Christmas colours. And I thought, great. And I thought, oh, I will make some socks with them. Hopefully the kids aren't watching, but I thought, oh, I'll make a pair of socks for each of the kids and their partners. And I should get enough. I thought if I used the red as the toe, heel, and cuff, that will give me enough of the other yarns to be able to make, I hope, 4 pairs. I'm hoping to get at least 4 pairs out of it, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. I should be able to. With no problems at all. And it came with a pattern book for a little baby cardigan with snowflakes on it, and some baby hats, some gloveless, fingerless mittens. What else did it have? It had like a tam hat, and it had just a normal beanie type hat. And now I'm sorry I didn't buy a couple of packs of it, but I might do I'm not one for doing yarn haul videos because I don't ever really have anything very interesting to show. I mean, it's not like I'm always buying lovely bougie, as Granny D would say, bougie type hand dyed yarns or whatever. or, you know, expensive cashmeres or anything like that. I very rarely get anything sort of other than my good old trusted acrylics. I use acrylics for most of my blankets, not just because they are cheaper, but because they are also, in most cases, most of them are fully washable, and in some cases are fully dryable in a dryer. And I think that's important with a blanket, like a big item. You don't want to hand wash a blanket, so that's why I use acrylics mostly. But every so often I will go. Bendigo Woolen Mills is my go-to yarn spot if I want 100% wool or 100% cotton or a blend. They have some of the most divine colors and colorways and variegateds and sock yarns and everything you could possibly imagine. And they are soft. I think the micron count is anything between 18 and 22. 22 is probably, on average. 18 is getting to be quite soft. So, and I just love, I've actually done comparisons where living in Australia, I've gone to other sites who are having like major specials on. I've looked at the yarn, put in my cart, looked at the postage, and I'm talking about things like Hobie, which don't have unreasonable postage, and places like Lovecrafts, and I'm trying to think of the other one. Can't think of it. It's gone. But there's a few places that have huge, big, like 50, 60, whatever % off, and that's the only time I buy from those places, if at all. And I look at them and I price their yarn, which might not even be wool, might even be acrylic. I price their yarn, I add on the postage, and I compare it by weight to Bendigo Woolen Mills 100% merino wool, and believe it or not, the acrylic mix or the cotton mix is always more expensive. And I think, why would I buy something from there when I can get something here for an extraordinarily reasonable price? But there you go. And so if you want to check it out, I'll actually put Bendigo Woolen Mills link in the description below for you. But when you go there, if you're going there and you're from America or even England, please remember a couple of things when you're viewing their pricing. One, it's in Australian dollars. So if you're an American viewing it, you can, I think it's almost, if you're UK viewing it, you can halve the price and it becomes British pounds, give or take. I mean, don't quote me on that. I mean, it depends on obviously the exchange rate. And if you're in America, it's about 1.5 times the price. So, for example, if it was 20 Australian dollars, you'd be paying, I think, like 14 or 15 American dollars. Again, depending on the exchange rate on any particular day. Also remember when you're viewing the site that most of the balls of yarn that you are buying from there are 200-gram balls. So the price you're looking at is for a 200-gram ball. For example, at the moment they have a yarn which is called Whispers, which, I'm going to, my memory. I keep saying from memory because, and whenever you hear me say from memory, know in your heart that could be very, very wrong. Because my memory is shot. I don't know why, it just is. But from memory, it is a blend of 100% merino with bamboo. And reports are that it is gorgeous to work with. Not worked with it myself. Haven't really sort of found a project yet that I, want to use it for. But it's $19.50 Australian for a 200-gram ball. And I think it comes in around about 20 collars or something like that. Now, $19, therefore it's about, let's say call it $20 because it make it easier for my math. So you're looking at £10 for a 200-gram ball of really gorgeous 100% merino wool with bamboo. Now that's not bad. That is not bad. If you went to Wool Warehouse in UK and looked for, a wool bamboo mix, and the wool percentage is something like 80%, I think, and the bamboo is the 20%, you would not find a 200-gram ball at £10. Even if it was heavily discounted, or you might, I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. So, and the same goes for America. If you sort of, always compare. Don't compare apples to oranges. Compare apples to apples. But that's enough about Ben. And I'm not affiliated. I probably should have said that at the very beginning. I am not affiliated. I am just a long-time lover of Bendigo Woolen Mills. It's in the same state that I live in, Victoria, in Australia. It's about a 4.5-4-hour drive one way from me. I wish I could still drive. I would, pop up probably once every few months to go and buy some stuff. They've got a notoriously famous back room which is filled with wonderful discounted items and everything. It's a very, very popular place. In fact, it was interesting. They were on the news during the pandemic that shall not be named. They were on the news because they had what they were producing and sending out had dramatically increased during the first Melbourne lockdown. And they were producing and dispatching 1/2 ton. I want to say a day. I'm sure it said a day. But that can't be right. It had to have been a week, surely. But they were literally, because so many people turned to crafts during the pandemic that will not be named. And that's not a bad thing. If we can say anything good about that pandemic, we can say, hey, it created a few more crafters. It created a bit more interest in, some crafts that might otherwise have slowly disappeared. Carol, my girlfriend in the UK, has a teenage granddaughter who is, so talented. She picked up the hook. My girlfriend Carol showed her a few things. She took the hook and took some yarn, and she started creating amigurumi, from patterns. And she just does a fantastic job. I won't mention her name because she is still a teenager, and I don't have permission from her parents or anything. But she's an amazing, amazing, creative little girl. Young woman now, really. Brilliant. She is absolutely brilliant. And that's what that's what I love about crafting. It really does need to be passed on. We need to show our younger people. And sadly, too many of them are too busy with our electronic stuff to want to know. I'm just realising, am I doing this on the right way? Whew, yes, I am. But yeah, she's taken to it to like a duck to water. Yeah, which is great to see and hear. I love it. I love it when young people are inspired and, do things. And amigurumi, I think, is perfect for starting out because they're small items and they finish the item quickly and they get something usually cute and cuddly at the end. And I think I've only got one corner left to do. Yeah, I think it might be. I might as well finish that corner. What do you reckon? Yep, I've only got this one corner left to do. We'll finish this and then we'll call it for today. So, yeah. Lots to talk about. Yeah, so where was I? I was going somewhere with the, oh, that's right, with my yarn delivery from Wool Warehouse. Oh, gosh, I go off on a tangent. But that's what conversations are all about. You've got to go off on tangents. Otherwise, they just end. So I got... Oh, what's happened there? Oh, it's just another end. So I ordered me purple. And ordered extras of all the other colours just in case. Then I went looking and I saw the sock yarn. We got that far in the story. Then I also, I bought a while back the Impkins book by Megan Ladd with 2 Ds. I think that's her name. Gosh, she creates some really cute stuff. And I thought, a lot of people are using chenille now to make Impkins and amigurumi in general. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. So I also ordered from Wool Warehouse a box of, they call it, I think, baby chenille. It's not as thick as the other, like, the chenille you would use for blankets and whatnot, but it's called baby chenille. It's a bit thinner. And I ordered a box of mixed colours. I think they're 10-gram balls. So I'm not sure how much of a, if they'd be able to complete an amigurumi with it. Even one of Megan Ladd's ones. But I'm going to try because I've never used it and I don't... What puts me off is with chenille is that people say it's nice and velvety. Well, I don't like velvety. I have an aversion to velvet. If I touch it, I go, ugh. It's like nails down a chalkboard, or polystyrene squeaking. Touching velvet and touching cotton wool has the same effect to me. Can't handle it. It really just sends shivers down my spine. But I thought, look, if I can use this and make it work, maybe, I can then purchase some chenille for baby blankets, because I thought, well, it's so much quicker to make a baby blanket with chenille. And I do believe it's 100% machine washable and dryable, which is also handier for baby blankets. So I bought the sample box. I did open it up. I did touch it and I went, ugh. And then I thought, nope, nope, you've got to get over this. You really do, because you now had to, try and make something with this. But so I thought I might include that in a little review as well, and see how I go. Because, like I say, I'm not going to be the type of channel that will do loads of what do they call them? Yarn hauls. I'm going to call mine a yarn delivery, because that's exactly what it was. It's not a haul. It's not something that I suddenly sort of, like a fishing net, and I went, whoa, I'm going to order all of this stuff. No, it's just a few items that I, thought I might like. So I thought, yeah, okay. So I'll show you that as well in another video at some stage. You might even see it before you see this one, because I do tend to video out of order an awful lot, just because, it's whatever's easier for me at the time. You will notice that I do a lot of my videos now not at my table, because, can you hear it? Ugh! I heard that on one of my videos, and I was like, oh gosh, that sounds awful. And I can't remember which video it is to remove it or whatever. So if you've seen that video and you've listened through the squeaks, I thank you, and I apologize for the squeaks. But yeah, so I try and avoid working at my desk. Saying that, my next video I'm going to do after this one will be at the desk. I'm going to try and do part 2 of making mapping Mondays. I'm going to do a granny square this week, which would be really easy to do. We're just going to make a granny square, and at the same time I'm going to graph it so that you can see how easy it is to create a graph. If you can create a graph, you can read a graph. And I think, honestly, in 50 years or even less, that is going to be what a majority of patterns are going to be. It seems to be very much what a lot of people are turning to, graphs. They just seem to prefer the graph. It's less ambiguous, I think, with written patterns. Each pattern writer seems to have their own style, and it's often, a style you need to get used to know, oh, that's what they mean. I think, it creates a little bit of confusion for some people, whereas a graph, there's no confusion, or there's very little confusion. Now, where's my little bits gone? There it is, into my little bits thing. Okay, I can get to work on this because I've got my colour. The next colour is meant to be this one, so like I say, I've been holding back. And then once I've done that, I'll have my 4 new corners and I can keep working. It is very, very soft, this stuff. Okay, everybody, that's it for Whip It Wednesday. Weave It in Wednesday, because I need to make some more ends to weave in. Yeah. So I better get on making this blanket so I've got something to show you next week. Until then, thank you for watching and listening. I hope I didn't confuse or bore you too much. I confuse myself some days, so if you did get confused or lost on one of my tangents, don't feel so bad. I'm lost as well. Anyway, if you're new, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well, just to make sure you don't miss out on part 2 of the upcoming make-alongs I'm working on. I'm working on 2 of them. One is a crochet along, one is a knit along. Both are creating a V-shaped scarf, which should, fingers crossed, look the same or very similar. I'm trying to show that you can crochet and knit and come out with a very comparatively similar item, just for fun, just because I want to. Anyway, till then, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you all the next time. Take care. Bye for now.